All right, so whenever you're ready, we're rolling.
Hi, my name is Freddie Roman, and I've been a comic in the Catskill Mountains since 1959. That's 55 years from today. And I've had the pleasure of watching the rise and the fall, unfortunately, of the Catskill Mountain Resort area. When I started, there were 200 places for a comedian to work in the Catskill Mountains. Small hotels, big hotels, bungalow colonies. There were just tons of places, especially for a young comic, to learn his craft. You started in the small places and the bungalows, and then you went on to the bigger places. Well, I started my career as the social director at a place called Homowack Lodge in Spring Glen, New York. It went on to become one of the most exciting places in the Catskills. And if you had told me in 1985 that in 2014 there would be no hotels left in the Catskill Mountains, I said that wrong. There is one. Villa Roma is still there, but there are no kosher Jewish-style hotels left in the mountains. I would have said, you're crazy. I had a summer in 1985 where I did 91 shows between July 4th and Labor Day weekend. 91. That's an average of 9 shows a week. I would do a 9 o'clock show at Brickman's, a 10:30 show at the Pines, and a 1 a.m. show at Lansmans Bungalows. That was 3 in one night. Those were days that were unbelievable. And you didn't make $1 million at each place, but at the end of the week you made a nice week's pay. So the mountains was an exciting place to work. And the one thing about the Jewish audiences in the mountains, you had to be good. If you weren't good, they let you know it. They didn't boo, they were very respectful. They just got up and walked out. And if you were no good at the end of the night, you were working to 200 chairs. So I learned, and it was an amazing story for me. Of course, I worked all over the Catskills, and then in 1968, Toady Fields saw me one night at the Concord Hotel, and she said, Freddie, when was the last time you worked Las Vegas? I said, I've never worked Las Vegas. In my dressing room, she got on the phone and called a friend of ours who managed Juliet Prowse and literally forced him to book me with Juliet at the Desert Inn Hotel. And that started my Las Vegas career, where I spent 18 wonderful years, 12 weeks a year at Caesar's Palace and the Riviera. And then in between all those dates, I would come back to the mountains. No longer at the tiny little hotels, but I would headline Kutcher's, the Concord, Grossinger's, Nevele, Fallsview, Pines, the Raleigh. They were all wonderful to me. And I was fortunate that I came up with an idea in 1989 to do a Broadway show based on Catskills humor. And I put it together with 3 other comedians, Malzy Lawrence, Dick Capri, and a young lady named Louise Duarte. And we opened at the L'Enfantin Theater on Broadway in a show called Catskills on Broadway. We were a major hit. We ran a year and a half. We then toured the country for a year and a half, and we're still doing versions of it all over the country, primarily in Florida, because all of my old friends from the Catskills are now living in Florida. So I go down there, and it's like the Catskills was 30 years ago. But as I said, it's amazing to me that there are no more Catskill Mountain resorts. And I'm very proud that Lansmans, which was a bungalow colony for many years, 30 years ago, the owner, Marty Lansman, sold it to the residents, who then co-opted, and it's very vibrant and exciting and still running very, very well and busy and a very successful business endeavor. And they're keeping the taste of the Catskill Mountains alive. And I'm delighted to see it, and I'm very happy I was asked to be a part of this. I have no idea where and when it'll ever be shown, but sincerely, I hope it will be. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. It's okay to use this for promotional purposes and stuff like that.
But that's fine.
Okay.
Whatever it
Thank you
is.
very much. I appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you so much.